Welcome to Global Power Brief, where every headline hides a secret, every decision shifts power, and the world's biggest stories unfold in real time.
The Young and the Restless spoilers next 2 weeks, Claire's daring move, Matt's arrival, raging meltdowns. Genoa City is heading into a storm where almost everyone is about to get caught in lies, pressure, and emotional breakdowns. Billy Abbott finally drops a huge bombshell on Victoria Newman.
He tells her that he is now engaged to Sally Spectra, who is also expecting his child. This news instantly shakes Victoria's confidence about everything happening around Billy and Victor Newman's ongoing legal pressure. For a moment, she even starts questioning whether Victor has gone too far this time. But while relationships are shaking, something much darker is unfolding behind the scenes. Phyllis Summers and Kane Ashby suddenly find themselves in serious legal trouble. They are arrested after fake emails, carefully planted by Victor Newman, come to light.
The entire situation looks like a setup, and it hits everyone like a shockwave.
Lily Winters completely loses control when she sees Kane being arrested right in front of her eyes. It's emotional, chaotic, and painful for her. Kane, however, tries to stay calm and promises that he will get out on bail and fix everything as soon as possible. At the same time, Michael Baldwin steps in to support Phyllis after her arrest. But this move clearly does not sit well with Victor, who is already watching everything closely.
Meanwhile, Kyle Abbott starts thinking strategically.
He considers using Patty Williams as a weapon against Victor. At the same time, Jack Abbott shifts his focus towards saving his marriage with Diane Jenkins Abbott, trying to stabilize his personal life amid all the chaos.
Sharon Newman begins digging deeper into Sienna Bacall's past.
She pushes her with tough questions, trying to uncover hidden truths.
But this investigation doesn't stay quiet for long, because it eventually leads to something far more dangerous. Matt Clark is coming back to Genoa City. His return alone is enough to shake multiple lives.
The moment people hear his name again, fear and tension start rising instantly. Sienna Bacall, in particular, is not prepared for this at all. The idea of seeing Matt again completely unsettles her.
At the same time, Nick Newman's personal struggles become a growing concern.
His drug addiction is slowly becoming harder to hide. Some people in Genoa City start noticing changes in him, and Phyllis begins to worry deeply when she senses something is wrong. Nick eventually reaches a breaking point where he may choose to confess parts of his struggle, especially to Victoria. But admitting the truth is never easy, and he is clearly fighting an internal battle.
Elsewhere, Claire Newman takes a bold and risky step for Holden Novak.
Her actions could directly challenge Victor's influence, especially as Kane's arrest begins affecting Malcolm Winter's situation.
Everything is becoming more interconnected, and no one seems safe from consequences anymore. Chelsea Lawson starts questioning Adam Newman's past connection with Reza Thompson.
She wants answers and pushes Adam to be honest. Adam, however, insists that Chelsea is the only person he truly cares about, even if the Vegas situation created complicated misunderstandings. Still, trust issues begin to rise between them. Meanwhile, Lily Winters finds herself under pressure from another direction. She considers making a bold offer to Victor Newman. Her goal is clear: she wants Kane's charges dropped. In exchange, she may be willing to let Victor keep control of Chancellor, instead of pushing for ownership changes.
It's a risky negotiation, and Victor is not easy to convince. Nick's situation continues to spiral as well.
His addiction is not just a personal issue anymore, it is becoming a topic that could affect his entire family. The fear of relapse grows stronger, especially with Matt Clark's return looming in the background.
The emotional atmosphere in Genoa City becomes heavier each day.
Everyone is dealing with pressure, secrets, or fear of exposure.
And just when things feel like they cannot get worse, the next wave of chaos begins to form quietly in the background. Matt Clark is back in Genoa City.
His arrival instantly changes the mood of the entire city. People who know his history feel uneasy, while others are confused about what his real intentions are. There is already speculation that Matt may not be fully honest about his condition. Some even wonder if he is pretending to have memory issues just to manipulate those around him. Whatever the truth is, one thing becomes clear: he is here for a reason. Sienna Bacall is the first to visibly break down when she senses Matt's presence.
The emotional impact is overwhelming.
It could even lead to a panic reaction or a complete meltdown as she tries to process what his return means.
Elsewhere, Kyle Abbott continues building his plan against Victor. He tries convincing Patty Williams to join his strategy.
His target is not just Victor, but also the stability of Victor and Nikki Newman's marriage. Kyle believes Patty could be a powerful ally if she agrees to help. At the same time, Victor remains focused on controlling the situation surrounding Kane and Lily. But what he doesn't realize is that more people are quietly forming strategies against him. The balance of power in Genoa City is starting to shift. Nick's addiction struggles take a darker turn. With Matt Clark back in town, emotional pressure increases significantly. There is a real possibility that Nick could relapse, especially if old trauma resurfaces. Phyllis becomes one of the few people genuinely worried about him, and that concern may lead to unexpected decisions. Meanwhile, Matt Clark's presence continues to create fear and confusion. Whether he is truly unstable or playing a calculated game remains unclear, but his influence is already spreading across multiple lives.
Sienna remains emotionally shaken, unable to fully process what is happening. On another side, Lily's negotiation with Victor could reach a turning point.
Whether Victor agrees to her terms or not, the outcome will likely change the direction of several relationships and power structures in Genoa City. Kyle's plan with Patty also begins to take shape, but trusting her completely may become a dangerous gamble. By the end of these 2 weeks, nothing feels stable anymore. Relationships are fragile, secrets are exposed, and every character seems to be standing on the edge of a major collapse. Genoa City is not just dealing with drama anymore, it is heading toward a full-scale emotional and psychological storm. Genoa City is about to take another emotional turn as Victoria Newman finds herself facing information she never expected. Everything begins at Billy Abbott's place, where Victoria arrives with serious concerns. She warns Billy about a set of leaked emails that are now causing major trouble. These emails link both Phyllis Summers and Kane Ashby to a questionable situation, and the legal pressure is building fast. But things get even more complicated when Billy discovers something unexpected. His own name is also tied to those same email conversations. That revelation immediately sets him off. Billy feels blindsided and frustrated. He starts questioning whether Victoria is truly standing with him or simply supporting her father, Victor Newman, no matter what. In his eyes, Victor is using fake or manipulated evidence to target Phyllis while also pulling Billy into the mess as collateral damage. Victoria doesn't take that accusation lightly. She feels insulted by Billy's reaction and insists she is not blindly following Victor's agenda. The tension between them rises quickly, and it becomes clear this conversation is heading in the wrong direction. Just when things are at their peak, Sally Spectra walks in and immediately feels the tension in the room. But she quickly becomes the center of attention when Victoria notices something new. Sally is wearing an engagement ring. Billy confirms the truth. He and Sally are engaged, and she is also expecting his child. That double shock completely changes the energy in the room. Victoria is visibly stunned, struggling to process everything at once. The news leaves a lasting impact, especially on how she now views Billy's involvement in the ongoing legal drama. Once Victoria leaves, Billy and Sally are left alone, trying to regroup and figure out what comes next in the middle of all this chaos. Meanwhile, at Crimson Lights, Kyle Abbott stumbles upon an uncomfortable scene. He sees Patty Williams acting overly flirtatious toward Jack Abbott, which immediately raises his concerns. Kyle doesn't like what he sees, but Jack later pulls him aside to explain the bigger picture. Jack reveals that Patty is actually part of a strategy. He intends to use her influence to gain leverage in a much larger game involving Victor Newman. Kyle is not convinced. He worries that Jack is playing a dangerous game and that trusting Patty could backfire badly. Instead, he urges his father to focus on repairing his marriage with Diane Jenkins Abbott rather than getting pulled deeper into risky schemes. Despite his concerns, Kyle eventually agrees to move forward with Jack's plan, even if he is uneasy about it. Jack's ultimate goal is bold and controversial. He hopes to create enough pressure to permanently damage Victor and Nikki Newman's marriage, weakening Victor's control and influence in the process. The strategy is set, but the risks are high, and no one fully knows how Patty will behave once she is deeply involved. At the athletic club, tensions rise again as Victor Newman and Diane Abbott face off. Their relationship has always been complicated, and this meeting is no different. However, the real focus quickly shifts when Patty Williams arrives in a surprisingly good mood. Victor and Patty pretend to be meeting casually, acting as though nothing serious is going on between them.
But Diane immediately senses that something deeper is happening behind the surface. Patty doesn't hold back for long.
She openly hints that her connection with Jack Abbott is growing stronger.
It's a clear attempt to provoke Diane and shift the emotional balance in the room. Diane responds calmly but firmly.
She reminds Patty that Jack Abbott will always have a strong emotional connection to her, no matter what games are being played.
Once Diane leaves, Patty fully embraces the moment. She turns back to Victor and confirms that she plans to stay in town and continue her influence.
Her goal is clear: she wants to keep Jack and Diane separated for good. Victor listens carefully, clearly satisfied with how things are developing. At the park cafe, Nikki Newman sits down with Claire Newman for a serious conversation about the future. They discuss the possibility of creating a non-profit organization in honor of Chancellor. With Chancellor currently uncertain, Nikki feels this might be the right way to preserve her legacy. Nikki also mentions another idea involving Noah Newman and his plans to reopen the Shadow Room in a new form.
During the conversation, Nikki gently suggests that Claire might one day take over Chancellor herself. But Claire doesn't seem confident.
She feels unsure about stepping into such a powerful role so soon. Nearby, Lily Winters overhears part of their conversation and quickly becomes curious.
She joins in and asks questions about Chancellor's future.
Nikki responds carefully, making it clear she has no immediate plans to return to the company. However, the discussion takes a sharp turn when Nikki brings up Lily's past fake abduction incident involving the twins. Nikki questions what Victor may have offered Lily in return for that situation. Lily quickly downplays it, saying it was never about rewards or deals, it was about teaching Kane Ashby a lesson and forcing him to face reality. She avoids mentioning any deeper agreements related to Chancellor. As the episode winds down, the tension in Genoa City continues to build quietly but steadily. Billy is now caught in a complicated emotional and legal storm. His engagement to Sally brings happiness, but the surrounding chaos makes everything unstable. Victoria is left processing multiple layers of shock: Billy's engagement, the email scandal, and her father Victor's involvement in it all. Meanwhile, Jack's plan with Patty continues moving forward, but the risks are growing.
Kyle remains uncertain, knowing that trusting Patty Williams could lead to unpredictable consequences.
Victor and Nikki's relationship is also quietly being tested from multiple directions, even if they don't fully realize it yet. Nikki's conversations with Claire and Lily hint at a shifting power structure around Chancellor, and nothing seems fully settled. On top of everything, hidden motivations, emotional conflicts, and long-standing rivalries are beginning to resurface across Genoa City. By the end of this update, one thing is clear: no relationship, alliance, or secret is completely safe anymore.
And the next wave of drama is already building just beneath the surface.